got jugged the very first night. Okay, girl, you might as well go ahead, get real cozy, get comfortable, get your little drink. Got me some Prosecco. It's story time, okay? I want to tell y'all about the time that I tried to be a stripper, and it just it just wasn't a good idea, okay? Y'all know during COVID 2020, like 2021, around that time, like I was hearing that them strippers was getting a big bag. And so I had a homegirl, and she was like, girl, you need to go to the strip club. And I'm like, you think so? She was like, listen, if you want you a fast bag, and one thing about me, turn my phone on silent. One thing about me, I love me a fast bag, especially a fast big bag. So I'm thinking like, maybe I should go. Like, okay. So I'm considering it. I start buying shoes, I start buying outfits. I was really just trying to turn into that person, because it's not really who I am for real, but I'm like, that should be easy, you know? My homegirl was boosting me up. She was like, girl, you got the look, like you got the tattoos and everything. Like she was just like boosting my head up. Like I was about to really like make that bag for real. So I'm like, okay, let's get into it. So what we do, I go to Club Vivid, right? I go during day shift to like peep the scene for night shift. So I'm peeping the scene, it's day shift. It's a couple of girls in there or whatever. And I'm talking to this one girl and I'm like, so, you know, like, what's up? Like, are you making a lot of money here? Now, mind you, I'm green to the stripper world. So like, I didn't know like on day shift there, at least there, I don't know about other clubs, but they be tricking off heavily. So the girl was like, yeah, basically telling me like, I gotta like 2 or 3 people and I can make me like $750. I'm like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, girl, you know, you just go to the VIP, woo, 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 woo. And so the house mom, she be in the back. I told y'all, I'm a little green to it, but she be in the back. That's who you gotta pay to dance. She came over there and she was like, you coming back tonight, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come tonight. And she was like, yeah, you don't wanna work in here during day shift. So it was already a red flag. I'm like, okay. So come back that night. I felt like out of place. Like I was so shy. So when I go back there, I did not know that you had to pay to dance. That's the first thing. Like I didn't know that. It was a little fee. So I had to pay like $75. I had to get a house mom $75. And I'm just like, well damn, I'm already out of $75. I ain't even start dancing yet. So whatever, I give her the money and I'm just like, okay, I gotta make that back. And then once I make the first $75, I still gotta try to, like, that ain't even no profit. I just made my own money back. So I was already stressed out from the beginning. So I'm trying to go to the locker room. It's this one girl, she's sitting on the ground. Y'all, it was like a movie. She was sitting on the ground and like she was shaking, she was rocking back and forth and stuff. And so I'm like, everybody else was just stepping right over her. Little old nice me, I'm like, excuse me. She was like, just go, go. Like she started yelling and carrying on. And I was so embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God. So I just stepped over her too. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna step over you. So I stepped over her, found me a little locker or whatever. And I was already uncomfortable. So it's the security. They standing right at the locker room, right? So the security standing right there. And it's time for me to like change out, dress out or whatever. I'm looking like, are you gonna give me some privacy? Like, okay, like why is he standing right here? So I'm telling my friend, I'm like, why is he in here? Then I thought about it like, she about to be damn near naked anyway. So what difference do it make? Y'all, so I'm undressing. Oh my gosh, I was so uncomfortable. I'm undressing. The security man, he looking at me like it was different, okay? Take it. Cheers. So I change out or whatever, head out. I go sit at the bar. Mind you, I don't drink a lick of alcohol. Like I did not drink alcohol that night because I just didn't want to be like out of body. Like I didn't want to start having a little bit too much fun and then start just acting out of character. You know? So I was like, you know what? Let me just sit at the bar. I'm smoking a little bit, you know, whatever. And dang, I'm sitting there. I'm looking at the time. 2 hours done went by. I'm still sitting at the bar. And my friend was like, you need to get up and dance. Like, what are you doing? Like, we ain't gonna make no money. So, cause I remember the first night I went with my homegirl. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I stand up. I'm still at the bar, mind you. I stand up and I start doing the little, y'all know the little, like a small little shake. And it's this guy, he's sitting at the bar and like, he like flashing all these ones. Like he's trying to flash them to show me like, basically, I don't think I looked approachable. And so it's because I didn't feel like talking. Like really in real life, I'm not used to having to walk up to a like, hey, you want to dance? Or whatever the lingo is. Hey, how you doing? Like, ooh. I'm not used to that. Like I'm always used to being approached. So I was just like uncomfortable or whatever. So he flashed his money and I just looked at him and looked away. Like this one girl walked by and was like, you better get up and go talk to him. I'm like, I'm not getting up to go talk to him. Like I just was acting real snobby a little bit. Like I wasn't trying to, but it just wasn't my personality to just be walking up to people. Like I just couldn't do it. So whatever, my friend like, you need to get up and dance, okay? So I'm doing like a small little dance. So this guy, he comes over and he threw a couple dollars, right? Like he threw a couple dollars. It didn't move me because I'm just like, this is stupid. Like I'm dancing, I'm like, this is dumb. So I'm dancing a little bit more. He might threw like $200. So then my friend start, we double teaming. We doing like a little, you know, a little duo. So we both dancing together or whatever. And he might have threw like $350. It wasn't too much. Now, once the other girls start seeing that traction, they start coming over because mind you, wasn't nobody making no money that night. Like even though it was during COVID and PPP loans and all that was out, maybe Vivid was probably the wrong club to be at. But since I was a beginner, I didn't want to go to no real deal. I'm like, I need to be somewhere that's amateur, you know? So all the other girls started coming over. Now me, I did not know that when you dancing, you need to stay away from them other girls because once you start dancing with them girls, y'all gonna have to split that bag. I didn't know that. So another girl come over here and I'm still dancing. My friend looked at me, she was like, cut it out. So she told me to stop. So I'm like, okay, first you told me to start dancing, now you told me to stop. Like, what's going on? I'm like, what are we doing? So I stopped dancing or whatever. And then the girl, she takes her heel, y'all had to take that heel, she take her heel, she starts scooting her money over. Now mind you, it might have been like $8. So my friend, she was like, start getting loud with her. I'm like, oh Lord. I start getting hot because one thing about me, I'm not confrontational. I don't like drama. I'm not that girl. So I start getting embarrassed. I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, it's not that serious. It's $8. No, because you can't let them run over you. She was like, they will run over you in here and you got to stand your ground and show them who you is. I'm like, baby, I'm not about to be in here fighting over $8. I don't care. So it was already like chaos. This is the first night. It was already chaos. And so, I don't know. I just sat at the bar and I'm like, can I get some water? I wanted a shot of water because I wanted to make it look like, you know, I had a little drink. Like I didn't want to just look like the sober girl in there. So I'm just sipping on water and I'm just like, why am I here? Then this one guy walked up to me. He was like, you are too classy to be in here. He was like, what are you doing here? And it just resonated with me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I want to go home. I wanted to go home. But I'm like, okay, you know what? You signed up for this. Mind you, okay, at that point, I did make my little $75 back. But I kind of just, it was more like, I didn't care about the money. I was so uncomfortable. So at this point, it's coming up on like 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Girls start getting naked. I'm looking at my friend and I said, do we have to get naked? Like, I've been to the strip club before to throw the money. But like, on the other side, no, I never danced. So I'm like, is it mandatory? And she was like, if you want to make some money. I'm like, I'm like, listen, I'm not getting naked. So it's like after 12, like I said, it's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Everybody started taking their tops off. I'm seeing ass and titties everywhere. And I'm just like, it's no way I'm walking around here like that. Like, it was no way I was doing it. So, the girl come over here is this one girl. She was like, you need to get yourself together. She was like, you are so pretty. You can rack up in here. She was like, what are you doing? Like, she basically trying to give me a pep talk. Like, girl, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I don't want to be here. So, whatever. I get invited over to this section and we made a little bit more money, right? Like, whatever. Like, we just made a little bit more money that night. Come towards the end of the night. Mind you, okay, hold up. They had sweepers. Now, one thing about it, I guess I don't like the sweepers because ain't no telling what they're doing with your bag. You know what I'm saying? So they come sweep the money up, get all the money up. Okay, I guess when you have a sweeper, you gotta wait until the end of the night till they distribute the bags out. That's how they did it at that club. Now, I've been to another club, which I'll tell you in a minute. I've been to a different club where you got your own money bag with you. So you pick your own money up, whatever, and you can leave when you want to. But if you want your money, you have to stay. So I had to stay there till like 3, 4 o'clock trying to count the money up. So I know for sure that night, that was my first night. I knew for sure that I was supposed to get like at least, like between me and my friend, we might have made at least about $1,000, possibly. So when they call us or whatever to come get our bags, like they distributing the bags out, they calling all our little stripper names out, you know, distributing the bags. We get the bag. The bag got $350 in it. And I'm looking like, bitch, I know we made more money than this. So instead of me, like, I don't know what to do, right? So I'm like, did they steal our money? So basically, yes, they stole over half of what we made that night. Like, they took it. Like, we were new there. And so, and then I probably should have mentioned the fact that when I first walked in there, them hoes was hating so bad. Like, and see, I'm a nice girl. I've never been in a situation where people just hate me so much. Like, I'm like, what did I do? I look pretty. And they was like, that's the problem. Like, my friend, like, they don't like when pretty girls come here because they think you're going to take their customers. And I'm just like, well, they got the right one or they got the wrong one because I don't care about their customers. Like, I really want to be here anyway. So, anyway, the first night, yes, the sweepers or whoever, I don't know who did it, but they stole all the money we had. We went home with $350 and me and her had to split $350. And I was just like, okay. And I know we made more than that because the first guy, he ended up throwing like $350. But that was in the beginning. So, you know, whatever. That was the first night. So, yes, I got jugged the very first night. And I just wasn't in a space to combat it. I'm like, I don't care. I mean, you know what? I did feel bad though. But I know for sure I didn't try to get more money. Okay, so that was the first night. The next weekend, because I didn't go every night. I only went on the weekends. Like, and I probably went only like 4 weekends. Like, I probably only went to the club like 4 or 5 times in the time that I tried to dance. So, the next weekend, I'm getting me a couple more new outfits. Like, I'm not geeked up because I knew I didn't really make no money. But I did feel like, okay, this was easy money. Like, nobody touched me that night. Like, it wasn't a thing where I had to get touched because I didn't want nobody touching me. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, you need to get you a pole. Yeah, I get on Amazon. I start ordering poles and stuff. Like, I just started doing shit. Because I'm thinking, like, you know what? If you master the pole, nobody ain't got to touch you because you could just be on stage and you can make your money from doing tricks and shit. That's what I'm thinking. So, Lord, I'm like, okay, so I get the pole, set it up. Y'all, I didn't know you needed to be that strong to be on that pole. Like, oh my God, listen, I couldn't do no tricks. Like, it was a waste of money because I'm like, dang, like, I want to learn how to do some tricks, but I wasn't strong enough and I didn't have time. Like, time was of the essence. I needed to make some money. The next weekend, I go alone. I don't have nobody with me, like, which was very lonely. I probably shouldn't have did that. So, like, I'm by myself now. Now I gotta pimp for myself because remember the first night, my friend was there to kind of like, since I was getting bullied a little bit, like, they was like stealing my money and stuff. That's getting bullied. Now I was getting bullied. What is going on? Okay, so whatever. I was by myself and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta fend for myself. Like, but one thing about it, I knew that I don't give a damn how much money somebody was stealing. I'm not fighting in no club. Like, I'm just not doing it. So whatever, I get in there, I got me a different outfit on. So it was the same thing. So I go out, get to the bar, drinking water in a little cup, like a little shot of water. I'm drinking, sipping on some water. So at this point, it was this one chick. She told me to come here. She was like, come here. Like, you know how they be like, come here. So I'm like, okay, I'm about to go make me some money. So I come over there. She got a fat nigga. And when I say a fat nigga, he was a big nigga. Like, he was huge. And so she was just like, we want to dance. And he had the nerve. He looked at her with an attitude. So he didn't like me, y'all. He didn't like me. And so I'm like, I could feel his vibe. Like, I'm dancing a little bit. Like, I'm dancing just a little bit because it's early in. Like, y'all ain't through no money yet. So I'm just, you know, the little 1 2 1 2. And he looking the opposite way. Whole time he looking at somebody. So he was really, really, really into like real petite, skinny girls. That was his type, I guess. So whatever. He liked a real skinny girl. And I'm dancing and he looking away. And so she tells me like, yeah, like, I want you to like sit on him. I'm not sitting on him. I'm like, I'm not doing that. He was too big. He was so fat. And this is my thing. Because I don't want to be judgmental. Like, I'm not being judgmental here. But he was just way too big. Like, it was a whole nother level type big. Like, the 600-pound life type fat. Because I'm not talking about a regular fat nigga. Like, I'm talking about, like, unhealthily obese. So I was just disgusted anyway. Like, I just want to put my clothes on around him. I felt like he was going to eat me, you know? And so he looking all stupid. Like, he just didn't want me over there. So, long story short, I tell her, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, your man ain't feeling me. Like, I'm just not comfortable. She's like, it's okay, babe. She's like, I like you, though. Like, I like you. And I'm like, thank you. So she gave me like $45, $50. Like, because I wasn't even over there for a full song. Like, he hated me so much. And one thing about it, like, I didn't feel bad about it because I wasn't attracted to him anyway. But them dancers, you setting yourself up for rejection. And that's something that I've never done in my life. So it was a totally different experience for me. Like, for him to reject me and I thought that he was going to eat me, like, that's why it was just like, wow, I couldn't believe that he didn't like me. I'm like, dang, you know, whatever. So moving forward, so then I go to another section. Another section kind of pulled me over there. Oh my God, this section is full of like young niggas. Like, they just all young. They spilling the coal out the hookah. They spilling alcohol everywhere. So they throwing some money. It looked like about $200 on the floor. So they throwing some money or whatever. Take a sip. So, you know, they got a little traction going on, but it was a big section and it's only $200 on the floor. So I'm just like, I don't know if y'all thought I was getting naked, but I ain't. They looking like, take that off. And I'm like, no. Like, I was just being very, 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 like, I don't even want to say snobby, but I wasn't into it. And so I'm dancing. Oh my gosh, it was annoying. They spilling the alcohol all over the money. So I'm looking at the floor. And I'm like, the money is wet and the money is ripping in half. Like, a lot of the money was ripping up. And I'm just like, whoa. Like, y'all need to stop spilling all that alcohol because this is mine. I gotta take this home. I'm like, I'm gonna have to put this in a dryer or blow dryer or something. Like, you know, I was getting irritated because they was damaging the money. The money was getting burnt too. Like, I saved a dollar bill from when it was getting burnt. Because I'm like, this gonna be like my little souvenir experience type thing. And I don't know, I just was irritated because they were so young and it was just ghetto. And I was irritated. So like after a couple of songs, I was only over there for like 3 or 4 songs. I gathered my little money up. See, that night, it was no sweeper. So I was able to get my own money and put my money in the money bag. So like, I was able to pocket that. But by the time I pocketed the money, half the money was ruined because it was wet, full of alcohol, ripped up, you know what I'm saying, just loose and just like. So I probably went home with like, I couldn't eat, not even $400 that night. So I'm just like, I'm telling my friend like, this ain't the bag that I thought it was gonna be. Like, I thought I was about to be leaving home with like the 5 racks type, you know. I thought I was really about to be doing something. Like, I don't know why. Now I do believe if I would have been drinking, it might have loosened me up a little bit. But the whole point of me not drinking, so like I said, I didn't want to get too out of character to where I'm all in people's phones. Like, one thing about it, I got kids, so I just didn't feel comfortable anyway. I'm like, oh my gosh, what if one of these videos get out and I'm in here acting a fool? Like, the things that I saw in there, I could not believe it. That was one of the most ratchet clubs I've been in, though, honestly. Like, for me, it was ratchet. So that was the second time, my second experience. Barely made money. Like, it was pennies to me. And remember, you got to pay that house fee, whatever it's called. I don't forgot the lingo, but I still had to pay $75 to dance, and I only left with like $400. So we already only had about $700 gross from the first night to the second night. And no, really not even that much, because I had to split that $300. We already not making no money. And my thing is, this is for me, so this is the thing. I'm not being judgmental, so I have to always preface my comments by saying that, because if you're a dancer and you able to, you know, finesse them niggas out their bag, do your thing, baby. I just wasn't a good finesser because, like, I just didn't want to talk. Like, one thing about me, I can't fake it. If I'm not attracted to you, I'm not gonna talk to you. It's no way I can walk up to a nigga and just be like, hey, you know, how you doing? What you been doing today? I can't do that. It's not my personality. I wasn't walking around smiling. Like, I was just very shy. I was very shy, very quiet. My outfit, like, so everybody walking around with their titties out, and I'm the only one with a whole outfit on. Like, I still got on the little fishnet stockings. Like, I'm damn near fully dressed. Everybody butt ass naked. And I'm just like, I don't fit in here. So that was the second time I went. So moving on to my third day. This is my third time going. I don't know if it was either the next night or the next weekend. Either way, it was my third time going to the club. I told my friend, I'm like, listen, Vivid is not the club for me. Like, we're not making no money there. I'm like, what's going on? So she like, okay, let's try Diamond Club. I'm like, okay. Like, I've been to Diamond Club, like I say, on the other end, though, it's when I'm throwing the money. So I'm like, I like Diamond Club. It's real cute. It's small, you know. It do what it need to do. So I go in there, and remember, I never danced there before. So I walk through the club or whatever. It's like maybe around 8, 9 o'clock. Like, it's a little early. So I go to the back, and the manager back there. And so, like, my friend, she a little more experienced in that aspect. So she was like, basically kind of like, we trying to dance tonight, you know, whatever. So, like, you got to show him your body. Like, you got to just show your body. I'm looking like, I can't believe that they put me in a position to just be flashing a nigga. I just got to lift my, he like, let me see. So I show him my breasts, and I'm just like, this feels so weird. So he like, okay. He like, he want to see the rest. So he want to see, like, my stomach area and everything. So, like, I just kind of pull my pants down just a little bit. This nigga denied me because I had scars. He said, nah, but you could dance on day shift though. This man rejected me. He rejected me, y'all. He didn't like my scars. So he looking like the answer is no. Y'all, that moment there had to be the worst for me. Like, I'm like, I know this man ain't just look at me and tell me no. So basically he told me, like, you got to get off the floor at 11. And I'm like, okay. So y'all, okay. So I dress out or whatever. And I change out. Like, at this point, my self-esteem, like, he didn't really, like, hurt my self-esteem. But I just couldn't believe that I put myself in a position for somebody that I don't even know to look at me and judge me and tell me he don't like the way my body look. Like, I'm not good enough. Could not believe it. I'm like, okay. So whatever, I still end up dancing that night. When I say dancing that night, I really didn't dance for real, but I still dressed out, whatever. I paid my little house fee. It might have been like $75. Same thing, between $75 and $85. So I do that. I pay it, and I'm just so distraught. Like, I remember calling Brian, and I'm like, can you believe this man told me woo do woo do woo? Like, can you woo woo? Like, maybe I was a little hurt about it. Like, I think I was hurt because I cannot believe that he was judging me. I'm just like, whatever. So anyway, that night I probably only made $250. Mind you, it was embarrassing because they was doing some IG promo, right? So they like, I need all the dancers to the stage. All the dancers to the stage. We hitting up IG right now. Y'all, I was hiding in the back. The DJ like, yo, like, what are you doing? Like, you don't want to get on the stage? I'm like, I'm not going up there. So all the girls walking across the stage, you know, doing their little sexy woo woo. You know, they doing all their little woo woo. And I'm just like, there's no way I'm going up there. Y'all, because this was my third night. I had never stepped on nobody's stage. I wasn't getting up there. I was shy. I'm like, I'm not getting up there. Number one, it's hard to twist around a pole. Like, I'm talking about, I wanted to do tricks. You know, you gotta crawl before you walk. I wanted to just go straight for the gusto. Like, I'm just like, I'm about to do some tricks when I couldn't. Anyway, I just didn't get up there. And so, you know, whatever. When I got in the bag, the girls, I know they looking at me like, what is wrong with her? Like, what is she doing? Like, I could tell that they were already like sizing me up to see like what type of dancer I was, if I was gonna be, you know, making money. And they're probably like, oh, this girl. Like, I just wasn't making no money. I was very stupid in there. Very quiet, very shy. It just was dumb. And then anybody who did try to come talk to me, I was just brushing them off, and I let them know that I didn't want to be there. So they're probably like, I'm here for a fantasy, and here you are telling me you don't want to be here. Like, what are you doing? You know? So it just was horrible. Like, I just felt so bad, especially that night after that man told me I couldn't dance night shift. Like, he straight up told me, you a day shift, bitch. I'm just like, dang. Okay, so moving forward, this is the fourth night I go somewhere. So this time, okay, I'm fed up with Club Vivid. I'm fed up with Club Diamond. Vivid, I really wasn't making no money. Diamond Club, they told me they ain't like my body. And so I'm like, it's time for another club. So I switch it up one more time. I'm like, okay, I'm about to go to Blue Ivory. See, I thought this was gonna be the club for me because you don't gotta get naked. They don't get naked. Mind you, I don't want to get naked, and I never got naked. And I felt like maybe that's why I wasn't making no money. I'm like, you know what? I'm not making no money because I'm not getting naked. I need to go to a club where they keep their clothes on. Blue Ivory was the club, okay? So I go in there, y'all. I keep calling it the house fee. I think that's what it's called. But whatever the fee is called to dance, like whatever you gotta pay, it was like $150, $175. Like, they was taxing. I said, damn, I thought the $75 at Vivid and Diamond Club was crazy. These folks charged me $150. I was already out of $150 before I even start dancing. I'm just like, dang, like, you're gonna have to put some work in because I barely want to talk to people. So I paid the $150, y'all. I'm like, okay, at this point, I know since it was expensive, I'm like, I'm about to, let me get a little drink. Since it was expensive, I'm like, I know that I don't have a choice but to make this work. So, okay, you know, we get in there, or I get in there. Mind you, I'm by myself. My friend not with me. I'm by myself at this point. I go upstairs, and the locker room is a little different. This locker room, it made me feel worse actually because it was like a square. So like the other locker room, I was able to kind of like hide out in my own little area. The way Blue Ivory was set up, we was all in one, just a box. Like everybody just doing everything in just a box. And I'm just like, oh my God, I hate this. So the DJ, he like, what's your stripper name? Y'all, my stripper name, don't judge it, and I just leave it alone. My stripper name was Katarina. So I tell him, I'm like, my stripper name is Katarina. He like, Kata what? I'm like, I said it's Katarina. He like, okay. At Ivory, they call everybody to the stage to do their little thing. So I dress out. Y'all, I'm chilling. Like, this club kind of big now. It's kind of big. See, I'm more towards the back though. Like, it's like a little front area. I didn't go up there. I was in the back where the pole's at. So I'm thinking like, okay, if I get up there on stage, I should be able to make a little bit of money. Like, you know, just a little bit. So this night, still no drinking. I'm still not drinking. I didn't have a sip of alcohol. Like, I'm just smoking. So I'm like, okay, I gotta get my mind together because I'm not understanding, you know, why I'm not making no money. Man, the DJ start calling my name. Katarina to the stage. Katarina to the stage. He calling me. I'm like, it's no way I'm going up there. It was packed in there. I was scared. I'm like, So y'all, I'm sitting ducked off in the corner. He yelling Katarina, and I know that he knew who I was because the name is so extra. It's just so stupid. Like, he just probably like, where's she at? Like, it's only one girl in here who said her name was Katarina. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else stripping name Peaches, London, you know, kind of stuff like that. I'm talking about some Katarina. All them syllables. So, whatever, he called my name. Then he started cussing me out through the microphone. He said, y'all dancers ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. If you ain't gonna dance and you ain't gonna make no money, don't come back. Y'all, I'm in the corner like, I don't know who he's talking to. I don't know who he's talking to, but I'm not going up there. I never went up there. He called the next girl get up there. You know, she making a couple of dollars. Like, it was a couple of dollars though. Like, it wasn't giving PPP loans. So I'm thinking like, maybe by the time I got there, everybody PPP had ran out because the coins wasn't there. So it's this one girl, she's sitting in the corner. She said, you're really pretty. I'm like, thank you. She was like, you can dance for me. So I'm just like, okay. So, and she was so sweet. So I started dancing a little bit. It was just her. She was just in the corner. So I'm dancing a little bit, you know, just, we're having fun. Like, I'm having fun with her. Like, we just laughing, talking, whatever. This one ratchet girl just come over here and she starts dancing. And I knew, see, my friend taught me something from that first night that you don't dance with nobody. So I stopped dancing. I'm like, we ain't splitting no bag, baby. I spent $150 to get in here. I need all the coins I can get. So I stopped dancing and I'm looking at the girl who asked me to dance. I'm like, you're gonna have to wait until she stopped because there's no way I'm splitting my bag with her. So the girl, she kind of migrates over a little bit. So I start back dancing. The girl, she's taking her heels and she's scooting my money towards her. And the girl who asked me to dance, she's looking like she's stealing from you. Y'all, why I ain't say nothing? I'm watching her do it. Like, I'm looking her in the face. And she looking at me and she's scooting the money over. Mind you, it ain't nothing but $10. See, for me, I felt like I'm too classy to be fighting over $10, baby. I'm not about to do it. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not about to get into no altercation because you need $10 that bad that you stealing. So I'm just looking at her and I was disgusted. I said, dang. I'm like, well, if you need the money that bad, you can have it. That's what I told her. And she kind of rolled her eyes or whatever, like, yeah, like, you know, yeah, bitch, that's what I thought. Like, she had that attitude, but I didn't care because once you stoop that low, like, to where you scooping the money over and you know, it's just like, girl, I'm not fighting you or arguing with you about 10 little measly dollars. I barely can get me a Chick-fil-A meal with that. Like, I don't care. So whatever. Anyway, she took the money and I just was like, I knew that was my last night. I said, you know what? I'm not doing this no more. Mind you, I spent $150 to get in there. And I probably only left out of there about $23, y'all. Wasted my money. I'm just like, wow, I cannot believe that I wasted my money. So long story short, I lost money in the interim of trying to dance. But I should have just knew that. It just wasn't my personality. I should have just knew that. It was wild. It was real wild. The experience was crazy. It was really like a movie. Like, I forgot to mention this, but the very first night, I saw this one girl like sniffing coke out of $1. And that could sound like, girl, okay, and but I had never seen that before, so it was new to me. You see what I'm saying? Like, I never lived that type of lifestyle. So for me, I'm like, what is she doing? I could not believe it. This girl was in the corner with a crumbled up dollar, just shit was going crazy. I'm like, oh my god, it was. Okay, I was about to say it was amazing. It wasn't amazing, but it was just different for me. I'm like, I can't believe I'm in this type of environment. Mind you, I'm a preacher kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in the church, and I'm watching y'all sniff cocaine out of dollars, and I'm watching y'all pop beans, and I'm just watching everything. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I cannot believe I'm in here. So really, like, I wanted to experience it because I thought that I just wanted to. Like, I felt like it was gonna be a good experience. Plus, I was gonna make some money, but I ended up just kind of feeling stupid in the end and wasting a lot of money on outfits, shoes, and all of that. I just was wasting money, period. So my little stripper journey, my little four days that I tried it. Okay, so all in all, my whole experience as far as trying to be a dancer, like, it was just trash for me. You gotta hustle. That's a hustle. You gotta work them folks out their money. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, y'all. Well, I hope y'all enjoy my little story of my little quote unquote stripper days. I had 4 days of hell. It was ridiculous. But sometimes you gotta go through the motion. Like, the lesson that it taught me about myself was, you not like everybody else. Just because this girl make money doing this don't mean that you could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just was a lesson for me, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm out of here. Cheers.